Hello dear students, today our topic is biogeochemical cycle or nutrient cycling. In ecosystems, the nutrients are never lost but they are recycled time and again indefinitely. Okay. Uh, Actually ecosystems में क्या होता है, the nutrients are continuously moving between the living components and the non-living components, okay, and back into the living components, and this cyclic flow of nutrients between the living components and the non-living components is known as nutrient cycling. This is also named as biogeochemical cycling because actual movement of nutrients takes place between the living organisms and the earth. Geo means earth and bio means living. That means if the nutrients are constantly moving between the through the living organisms to the different components of earth, for example rocks, air and water, this is known as biogeochemical cycling. Or you can say the movement of chemicals through the biological component and the geological component is known as biogeochemical cycling. Types of nutrient cycling: you have two types of nutrient cycles, gaseous nutrient cycle and sedimentary nutrient cycle. In gaseous nutrient cycle, the main reservoir of the nutrient is present in the atmosphere, okay, or you can say the main reservoir of the nutrient is the atmosphere. Example is carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle. And in sedimentary cycles, the main reservoir of the nutrient is present in the earth's crust. Example is phosphorus cycle and sulfur cycle. Today we will focus on carbon cycle. Carbon constitutes 49% of the dry weight of living bodies of organisms and is next only to water. That means the first major component of living bodies is water, and the second major component is carbon dioxide constituting 49% of dry weight. Okay, the carbon dioxide which is present in the atmosphere, it is highly soluble in water and it constantly keeps on dissolving in the ocean water and forms bicarbonates. Here you can see this is carbon dioxide which gets dissolved in the ocean water and forms carbonic acid. Since this is acidic, it gives rise to H positive ion and HCO3 negative ion, which is known as bicarbonate. And this bicarbonate, it provides the carbon source for aquatic organisms, aquatic plants. They fix this carbon dioxide in photosynthesis and form their food material. Okay. The carbon cycle is completed as a consequence of following important processes, or you can say the carbon cycle involves some important processes. The first one is photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, the carbon dioxide which is present in the atmosphere, it is fixed by the plants and they form their food material. And this food material is utilized in their respiration, and some fraction of the food material is stored in their bodies as biomass, which is made available to the heterotrophs as food. Okay. इसका मतलब ये है जो photosynthesis है, it decreases the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. The next process is respiration. Respiration is the exact reverse of photosynthesis. In respiration, the food material which is present in living organisms like producers and consumers, it is oxidized to release energy. Okay. And besides the release of energy which is utilized by the organisms, the carbon dioxide also comes out and this carbon dioxide goes back to the atmosphere. Okay. Hence we can say that respiration recovers the carbon dioxide which is utilized during photosynthesis. One more important process of carbon cycle is decomposition. Decomposition is actually the breakdown of dead remains of organisms to release carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere. Decomposition में जो carbon dioxide है वो recover हो जाता है, ठीक है. The carbon which is present in the dead bodies of living organisms, that is decomposed, that is broken down, and the ultimate product is carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide goes back to the atmosphere, increasing the concentration of carbon dioxide. Okay. And one more important process is combustion. Combustion simply means the burning of fossil fuels, and the burning of fossil fuels is accompanied with the release of large concentrations of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide which go back into the atmosphere. Okay, that means this is also recovering the carbon dioxide concentration of the atmosphere. And in addition to this, the forests, they are believed to act like carbon reservoirs because the plants have long lifespans and hence they cycle the fixed carbon in them very slowly. Okay, they fix the carbon dioxide and that fixed carbon dioxide remains in their bodies for longer time durations because they have long lifespans, and they are believed to act as the reservoirs of carbon dioxide, and they recover the carbon dioxide by respiration and decomposition. And in addition to this, sometimes due to accidental fires, a lot of carbon dioxide is released by the forests back into the atmosphere. Okay, now what is the impact of human activities on the carbon cycle? Every natural cycling is so perfect that the reservoirs maintain a constant concentration of the nutrients, but due to the increased human influence, due to increased human activities such as industrialization, urbanization, and increased use of automobiles, this balance has been disturbed. Okay, we can say that the carbon cycle as of now is not as balanced as it was in the past because of increased human activities. Okay, and this imbalance has led to greenhouse effect and which has led to global warming. Okay, greenhouse effect means when you have increased concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, the increased carbon dioxide concentration, it traps the sunlight, it traps the radiations, and this trapping of radiation has led to increase in the earth's mean temperature, which is known as global warming. Okay, and one more important term that you will remember is standing state. Standing state means the total amount of nutrients which are present in the soil of any ecosystem at a given time. Okay, and this standing state, it varies widely between different ecosystems. याद रखना बेटा, this is very much important. You may be asked in the examination, what is standing state? Standing state simply means how much, what is the concentration, what is the amount of nutrients in the soil of any ecosystem at any given time. Okay, here you can see this is the carbon cycle. You have here atmospheric carbon dioxide, and this atmospheric carbon dioxide, it is fixed by plants during photosynthesis. Okay, and this fixed carbon dioxide, it moves through the food chains. Okay, here you can see it is moving through the food chains and goes to the consumers. Okay, and then what happens is you are having respiration which takes place in both these producers. Here you can see these producers and these consumers. When they respire, they restore back carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. Okay, and one more process is you are having dead remains of plants and animals, and these dead remains of plants and animals, they get decomposed and they release carbon dioxide back to the atmosphere. And one more important process is you are having combustion of fossil fuels. Okay, and these fossil fuels are burnt in industries and they also release carbon dioxide back to the atmosphere. Okay, and once the carbon dioxide, it gets back to the atmosphere, the carbon dioxide can be fixed by the plants again, and this cycle continues. Okay, and the cycle goes on, and this is all about carbon cycle. Okay,